Here, I said I had some corrections to do. I have now done those with a brush and it came out pretty darn good, guys. It's looking excellent. It's not finished yet, but I had to stop and let it dry, so I thought I'd show you guys that is corrected as well. Everything's pretty much done here. And now it's just dried pretty much enough that I can pick it up and work with it. But guys, it looks really good. It didn't take that long to do. I was going to do another white line around the edge, but you know what? I think if I do anything, I do a silver line around the outer edge and make it just a black trim. And I actually really like the way that it looks like this, though. And it's been my experience, if you really like something and it looks sick, leave it like that. The trick is, I don't know, it's missing something. I've got the control surfaces going. Those are finished as well. So it's ready to go together. I'm just not sure. It needs something else. And I don't know what it is. I was thinking about putting a couple of white stripes on it to go in line with the angles on the wings here. And just to be the width of that, so that they're in that groove. It would be so nice to have them in that drop. But these are the kind of things you consider when you design something, right? I'm basically pretty happy with this design. It's been a really great design. Flies awesome. And you guys could definitely build it. Even in here, I did this correction with one single brush stroke on both sides, as you can probably see. And then I can go back over the edge with more black later to clean it up. But really, it came out really, really well, guys. For the amount of time that it took, it really wasn't that much. But you can see here where proper layering matters, because it's thin, guys. It's still really light. I haven't added much weight, but it's a nice paint job. It presents very well. It'll sit on my wall very well, or whatever else you planned on doing with it. In my case, I'm going to want to put RC gear in so many of them. I have this guy that I'd love to put RC gear in, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And then on top of that, two more biplanes that I'm really curious to fly, especially the Eagle. And I don't have enough money to put RC gear in all those. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But check out the build. Much better quality when you do it with a sponge and then correct very carefully with a brush. And that's what I've done to make these lines, guys. And it looked really good. It came out really well. I've showed you guys most of it. I just didn't show the brush correction because I'd like to do that off camera. I find it a lot easier to focus if I'm not rushing, talking to you guys at the same time. I make less mistakes, and the proof is here because it comes out really decent. Now, that being said, I still have one more bout to go on the control surfaces before they're perfect, and a couple of touch-ups to do. But in the end, it's looking really good. I'm going to cut this video. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update because there's lots of little tips here. I am constantly washing out my brushes. Constantly. And because of that, they last me. I have one here I'm throwing out. The reason I'm throwing out is because I forgot to wash it. I put black on it. I didn't notice until I went to use it. It was sitting here, and I thought it was sitting there because it was ready to go. No, it was sitting there because it had been neglected. And that is unfortunate. But not something I normally do. Normally I clean out my brushes right away. Sometimes I get distracted and have to do something else. You can still see there's some spots that I need to touch up with some silver, but for now all I was doing was the top wing. I had a bunch of spots and I wanted you guys to get a good close look at my work. Like I said, if you want a really nice paint job, it can be a little bit of artistry, as it is in this case, with that rounded shape inside the squared off shape. That's what I wanted. And so that's what I did. And the same in the wings. I have that nice rounded swooping shape inside the angular wing that is also rounded and swooping, and it looks pretty cool. It's a nice effect. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go, and this will be a continuation only if I either put RC gear in it or do something else interesting with the paint enough that you need to see it. But right now, this aircraft is finished pretty well. I've got a few touch-ups to do, but once it's done, It'll look exactly like this, guys. You won't even know the difference. It'll just be neater. Keith out.